Here.
Peter Kemp. Here. Logan Zuber.
Here.
Dave Schlemmer.
Here.
Chris Lamb.
Here.
We have a quorum. Did you have an opportunity to read the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes.
Any changes, corrections?
Nope.
Additions? Nope. Okay, we have a motion.
Move to approve the August minutes as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Sorry. If you have pagers or telephones, please put them on airplane mode or turn them off. Any changes to our agenda?
We do. We need to add one item, if we could do the oath of office for Sarah Payne.
Okay,
I think the city attorney will handle that.
okay.
City Attorney. Sarah, could you raise your right hand, please? I state your name.
I, Sarah Payne,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the ordinances of the City of Auburn,
and the ordinance of the City of Auburn,
and I shall faithfully,
honestly,
honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties as a member
of the Board of Zoning Appeals
of the Board of Zoning Appeals
of the City of Auburn,
of the City of Auburn,
until relieved,
until relieved,
according to the best of my skill,
until
according to the best of my skill
according to the best of my skill,
and ability, and according to law,
ability,
and
and
ability,
abilities
and according to law.
according to law.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
It gets easier.
Thank you.
New business, public meeting. We'll open the public meeting for BZA Standard Variance 2021-003.
Hey, Jim Ketteret, city planner for Auburn. This request comes from the city administration. They're requesting to eliminate an expiration date that is tied to the variance of use and the development plan that was approved for utilization of the property in the 300 block of East 7th Street, just to the east of Union, for a parking lot. This request, we did advertise as a public hearing in the Star on September 9th and sent notice to 6 adjacent property owners for the request. The property itself highlighted in the red is currently a city parking lot. It's got a somewhat gravel surface. It's basically millings, asphalt millings. There are some paved parking spaces that front along 7th Street. Those are the ADA accessible spaces for the property. It's accessed from an alley or the extension, if you would, of 8th Street to the south. An aerial photograph just of the property, just to give you, again, some perspective looking south at the property. You can see the ADA spaces lining along 7th Street. The property itself is zoned PR, which is Parks and Recreation. The zoning around it is a mixture of commercial and residential to the east. A few photographs. I'm sure you all drive by the property often, but this is just showing those ADA spaces along 7th. This gives you a view looking south at the property. This is along 7th Street looking west. And then from the southeast corner looking north to the parking lot area. And then this would be the access drive to the property. Just wanted to give you some perspective for the property itself. We did send out, again, with the notices, did not receive any public comment on the request. So just kind of scrolling back a little bit on how we got to where we are with this request this evening. So back in 2021 at a hearing, there was a request because it's zone parks and recreation. A parking lot was not a permitted use. So the city did request a variance of use to allow the parking on the property. That was granted at your September 28, 2021 meeting. There was not a time limit established by the BZA at that time. So subsequent to the initial approval, the next month it went to the Planning Commission for development plan. So basically site plan approval for the parking lot. That approval was granted for the parking lot that you see as far as the surface and everything. The Planning Commission did place a 3-year time limit on the use of the property with an expiration date of December 31st of 24. That was a deadline that was agreed upon as well by FEMA because there are some use restrictions on the property as far as what it could be used for. So there was a time limit established to that. The property was then, prior to that deadline, the end of 24, needed to be restored back to grass to what it was before. In 2023, the city was looking to establish parking areas for the public. There was also an agreement with the Credence property owner as far as providing spaces for them. And since it was a temporary use of the parking lot, we were trying to find additional, as a city, we were trying to find additional parking areas elsewhere. There was a request made in 2023 to extend that time limit that actually had been established by the Planning Commission to extend it for 3 years to basically afford a little bit additional time for the city to find additional parking areas. That was granted by the BZA in 2023, and it was at that time where the BZA established your own condition. Yes, we'll allow it for 3 additional years. So the expiration date for the use variance is December 31st of 2027. Subsequent, the next month after the BZA meeting, the Planning Commission also extended the expiration date to the December of 2027 timeframe. It was early this year, January, that the city administration did request of FEMA to basically remove that restriction on how long that property could be used as a parking lot. They also requested to do a more permanent surface. Again, right now it's basically millings. It's almost glorified gravel. They were looking, the city proposed a permeable pavement. So in essence, it would enable, it'd be a hard surface like asphalt as an asphalt product, but it's such that it does allow water to permeate through it. So it's not a complete runoff like a typical asphalt parking lot would be. The administration heard back from FEMA. I included a copy of that letter in your packet where they did consent to the use of the permeable pavement without any time limit. What that does enable the city to do is make it a more usable parking area, make it defined parking spaces. So it actually be striped, it would be clear. The current plan that's included in your packet shows 55 parking spaces with the traffic flow pattern around it. Right now it's kind of a free for all, except for those few marked spaces along 7th Street. There's no really defined area. This would make it very clear. And again, it is a public parking lot. There are spaces reserved for Credence employees during the daytime, but aside from that, it is open to the public. So we did get the authorization again from FEMA, and that has kind of led to this request this evening. So I think the city and the administration may talk about the efforts of trying to still find other public parking areas, but this makes this one just more viable. There is access with a sidewalk on 7th Street. So if you park here, you can walk up to 7th Street and then have access to the downtown area. There would be a little bit of a drainage improvement in the property, again, to collect what runoff wouldn't soak into the ground and then connect to the city storm sewer there. So that is the gist of the request this evening. Again, will be just to eliminate that a time limit for how long this can remain a parking lot. That way it gives more flexibility. The city's going to invest some money if we do put the permeable pavement here. So we'll want to be able to know that that could go on as long as the city felt that was the best use for the property. So the staff does recommend that the Board of Zoning Appeals approve the request to eliminate the expiration date for the use of the property as a parking lot. No specific findings on this type of request. Again, it was a condition that we're looking to modify. And with that concludes staff report.
Go ahead.
You know how much space there would be from the proposed parking lot to the creek?
I don't know. I don't know exactly. No.
I know there's been multiple proposals about a greenway
Right.
through there. And, you know, that was kind of why it was a temporary permission in the first
Is this
place.
going to be part of the Veterans Park? Was this area going to be used as part of the Veterans?
It's
Park?
not necessarily, certainly it's attached to it, and it's a public parking area, so individuals could park there if they wanted to go to the Veterans Park. I don't believe the permeable asphalt will go closer than what the current surface is of, the millings. I believe that covers that same area.
Looks like about 35, 36 feet.
Yeah.
Rough measurement on Beacon.
Will the property stay with the Parks Department?
Yeah, property is currently under city ownership, yes.
During the day, how many spaces are public parking?
All of them.
They're all public?
I'm gonna come up and speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Creedon, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Creedon has an agreement to utilize those spaces, correct? Or so many spaces? You'll clarify? Okay.
Okay. One question, the 8th Street entrance, which is just sort of from the alleyway right now, is that also going to be paved?
I'll let the mayor answer that. I don't know that for certain. I don't think the plan that I see that's included in your package shows an improvement
It
to.
does not.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Modification to timing would not impact any other conditions about the remediation to it should that parking lot go away back to green space, correct?
That's correct. That's my understanding, yes. It just allows it for an
Mhm.
indefinite period of time.
Okay.
From there.
This may not be the time or place or even our issue, but the trailers, or those FEMA trailers and the, all those trailers and stuff that's parked there, could they possibly be moved to the edge of town? And
I think that's county.
It's a county building.
It's parked on property owned by the county. So it's not on city property per
okay.
se.
Just a second.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get them out of there and use that for parking space.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
Will the applicant please come forward, introduce yourself? I think we know how to spell your last name.
Good evening, Dave Clark, Mayor of Auburn. First of all, I'd like to thank Jim for the thorough presentation, but I'll start off answering your question, Pete. This parking lot would not be restricted. However, speaking with business owners that are on the east side of town, I said, if you arrive at your 7:38 a.m., it should be open, but I don't believe in spending city tax dollars to reserve a parking lot. That's my philosophy on that.
So it'll be open to the public at all times.
That is correct. The footprint fits, we designed it inside of what's currently there temporarily, so it's not, is that correct, Daryl? So it's not expanding any closer to the creek. As you can see, I spoke with the county surveyor too, who I believe is a non-voting member on the drainage board, but I want to get his opinion as well. As for the alleyway or the drive coming off Union, This plan was just designed for the parcel bought with the FEMA grant. But if we need to make improvements from there to Union, we would do so. That was not a part of the request when sending it off to FEMA because it was not on that parcel. As Jim mentioned, though, one thing engineering took in consideration is putting a drainage tile, ensuring that that will slope. So we will collect the storm water as much as possible for discharge. I think Logan's probably got Beacon up, but the drive coming in, isn't that the edge of that property, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, basically right where the yellow is on the left-hand side in the bottom there.
Yeah.
And if you go up to the yellow right there, yeah, that's pretty much property.
Right on this side, though. There's a stop here.
On Beacon, it shows that it stops flat at that yellow
Okay.
line.
So the question was asked, there was a question asked in regards to the Veterans Memorial. The thought process would be to put in a sidewalk, ADA compliant, from the south side there connecting to the northwest corner of that Veterans Memorial. Because currently, the only parking they have is on 9th Street. We don't want them parking in the business that's located over there. Obviously, that's private property. So this will serve several different purposes. I think most people that go visit the Veterans Memorial, most of them are probably going to be handicapped, wheelchairs, you name it. So it's going to serve multiple purposes and provide, in my opinion, a safe access for that. And we would, the intent is to clean up, take out that partial, the old asphalt drive from the old Legion to, because it's our understanding the city will be gifted that parcel with the Veterans Memorial upon completion. The parks will acquire that. And I'm happy to answer any other questions.
So I was looking through the old minutes from 2021 and 2023 when the extension was initially authorized and then extended. The initial phase of the parking lot had an agreement with Credent for a certain number of years. Has that number of years been expired?
We have not extended that. It's just still that original agreement that is probably most likely expired. I would, you know, Daryl?
I don't recall a time frame attached to that, other than an agreement to provide. So
Okay.
that's been the struggle.
Yeah. And that was a MOU. So, but I had spoken with Credent and I made it clear that if we do this, that it will not be restricted. It needs to be a public parking lot, which is what it would be intended for.
The original threshold of the existing material was roughly 3 to 5 years, and I realize we've got a lot more life out of it than we originally expected. What's the expected life cycle of this, Daryl?
That's a good question that we're not, this would be like the first time you've done permeable asphalt, porous asphalt. We did a little bit there at the north end, but we're still kind of experimenting, but we believe it's going to be similar to regular asphalt. It's taken care of. You have to clean it. You know, it's porous and it allows that stormwater to percolate through. So hoping it's similar to regular asphalt, which would be in the 10 to 12 year range. It's taken care of. You know, it's going to require maintenance.
One of the concerns that was originally addressed was the compliance with the 2040 plan and parks and accessibility. And I understand now that, especially with the new Veterans Memorial Inn, I think that almost negates that argument because now you're offering accessibility to the park. But within aligning yourself with the 2040 plan, how does the extension of this indefinitely support moving forward in that regard?
I'm going to begin with this. So there is a lot of things in the 2040 plan and other plans that show a river walk, right? Going from, I think it went down as far as 14th Street. The problem is these parcels bought by FEMA, you cannot put any permanent structure. And that's why this had to be presented to FEMA with permeable asphalt. So you can't put in a permanent sidewalk. We're actually going through something right now, and this is a different project, but no permanent sidewalk. You could put a pavilion as long as all four sides are open. They do allow, I believe, public restroom, but obviously that's not a place for that, and that's not a discussion for today. So with that, the county is doing some things as well, facility studies. I believe at some point in the future, that area to the west, their goal is for that to open up, which you had that question, Dave, about the trailers and so forth. And if it does, then I think that's the area that we incorporate any sort of additional, whether it be park amenities, what have you. But with the Veterans Memorial there, you couldn't put playground equipment in. You couldn't do any of that. You couldn't bolt benches down to concrete pad. It's very restricted, I found out. So
In regards to the 2040 plan too, just look it up here. It can help with downtown goals. So supporting our downtown development through parking, which is somebody who's gotten multiple parking tickets, I can tell you that we need it. And basically encouraging adaptive reuse of land that supports the community needs.
yeah, one of the other ideas tossed around, and we did not submit it with this, but it's still on the table, is we got a kayak entrance or kayak entry point up at Docks Landing. We have one down at Eckhart, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
because you kayak. The thought process is possibly doing one here. Mostly get utilized on the weekends. Businesses are closed. That's going to be pretty open if somebody wants to come in with their truck, a couple kayaks. But that's another idea we've tossed around. It's not implemented in this plan, nor is the sidewalk. The sidewalk we had to do separate because of the uniqueness of the parcel and the restrictions. So we couldn't tie those together.
Thank you.
Is the city still looking for additional parking for the downtown area?
Yeah,
Structures?
the difficult thing is where, right? Just like a restroom. It's always on the forefront. We've done, actually, I give Andy credit. Andy has done several parking studies and updated it the last couple of years. There is a lot of 2-hour parking in downtown. There's also a lot of unrestricted parking on the streets. I can tell you, we were talking about how the utilization of this parking lot during, like, say, the work week. We can drive by there any given time of the day. There's 10 cars. They park on the streets, and we can't tell them they can't. Obviously, it's public parking, right? So this will accommodate 55 spots. I think it'll make a huge dent. It'll help the businesses on the east side. On the west side, they have the new 5th Street parking area there so that they can park there for the day and not have to worry about getting cited. So, but yeah, parking and those amenities are always on the forefront. It's just a matter of where can we put them.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Anyone else in the audience that wishes to address this project? Please come up, state your name. Give me a Moose membership.
Max Short, 5036 County Road 31. Just confirm for me that the only thing that you're looking at tonight to vote on is the elimination of the expiration date. Not how it's planned, which is what we've been talking about, but the only thing you're going to vote on is the elimination of the date.
That's my understanding.
Okay. And just a heads up, or maybe a clarification, back at your meeting in November 28 in 2023, FEMA agreed to the 3-year extension. The Miami River Basin, actually FEMA agreed to eliminate any date at that time, according to your minutes. The Miami River Basin wanted a 3-year extension. There's no documentation that they've even been contacted or they approved what you're trying to do tonight. But yet in 23, they were referred to.
Jim, can you tell me if that approval is required?
Don't believe it is required, but there has been discussions with Maumee River Basin Commission on this with the directors, so they are aware of the request and aware we made the request to FEMA as well.
And FEMA's approved the extension without a date. Okay.
Yeah, there's with your documentation, there is a letter from FEMA, but there's nothing that says Miami River Basin is okay. Okay.
I don't know how to answer that now.
Well, I don't either. It's up to you guys.
As I just indicated, they are aware of the request this evening. They're aware of FEMA's approval of an extension. They have not submitted anything that would state, we want you to hold to the 3-year agreement.
Well, I guess I'm saying if it was important at the last meeting where you changed the date, why wouldn't it be important at this meeting?
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience that wishes to speak for or against the project? Please come forward, state your name, spell your last name, and address.
Kevin Webb, WEBB, 113 Matthew Cove. Extending the date, there's critical information you're looking at and what they're trying to do, why it'd be okay to extend the date if they're going to build a new parking lot and everything. Couple answers that I can give you. The asphalt, the permeable asphalt is a special mix of asphalt. They do that with concrete also, eliminate the fines. And they juice up the sticky stuff so it's rocks stuck together with gaps between the rocks because the fine aggregate fills in those gaps, and that's what makes asphalt and concrete not permeable. So they don't know the life expectancy. It might be a little less than regular asphalt, but it's good product. It's probably the product of the future, both concrete and asphalt, especially in situations like this. So, as to parking, the good that they're going to eliminate the restrictions for Credent, because being on the council, I kind of watched that. We do have a lot of 2-hour parking, but we are lacking in free parking. So, and I get emails and letters every once in a while from the business owners have trouble finding a parking spot, especially like between 10 and like 3 o'clock. So even the new lot on 5th Street is full with business owners and stuff. So this would free up that aspect of it. And being on the tax phasing committee, I've met with Credent several times and commented, you got like 10 cars in the parking lot, but there's a sign on there that you're restricted, and it's restricted and you guys can park in there. But he said, well, they say the bulk of the time they work from home. Like Wednesdays, there may be a larger group in there. So currently they really don't need all of that parking, and it would be good for that to be opened up and available to all the public that needs it. The other thing is, if you look at your long-term goal on your FEMA letters, it's permeable. Grass is permeable, asphalt's permeable. So you got the same aspect here that you're trying to achieve is permeable. And what functioning we need is definitely more free parking. We have it, and like to see, and I would be in favor of keeping that. So thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate your input. Anyone else in the audience that wishes to speak for or against the project, please come forward. If not, I'll close the public hearing for this project for discussion.
I'd like more parking.
Yeah, I think that we've proven that downtown parking and downtown access the need is growing. So if it was the existing surface asking for an extension, I think that'd be a concern. But the fact that the city's looking to improve that surface is a positive. The application in the area, I think, is the right application for that area at this point. I echo the mayor and Daryl and Mr. Webb's feedback as well, that it's needed in that space, and remove any credent requirement. I understand the value and commend the previous mayor for his idea to get them as an incentive to provide that parking initially. But if it wasn't time stamped, I think at this point it needs to be. So the fact that it is going to be opened up to the public, I think speaks volumes to moving this project forward.
As long as there's room for a trail. Yeah, if it doesn't take more space than what's existing, I think there's room.
Is anybody here on the Trails Committee?
Mm-mm.
No.
I used to be, but I'm not anymore.
Mhm.
I think that was one of the proposed lines going through the city and down by the point.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of room there from when I measured it. If we just take the existing anywhere from 40 foot at the south end to
I feel a bit poorly about the city twice asking to use that area not as a park, giving us a date. We say it's going to go away, and now it's all changed. It's coming back, and now it's going to be there forever, at least my lifetime. That just doesn't seem quite right to me. But I'll go along with it. So,
Yeah.
any other comments?
2040, you and I aren't going to be around there.
That's right.
Hey, for what it's worth, I was on the parks board, and we had, they improved a lot of the parks over the time, and more parks are more man hours and maintenance. I mean, look at Memorial. Have you checked out Memorial Park since they finished it?
Yeah.
It looks
Nice.
it looks really good.
Okay.
Go play pickleball there.
Well, as somebody who was originally on the Hometown Collaboration Initiative project, which this property was part of that initiative that came out of that, I'm a little disappointed. Like you said, the same thing, right? This project and this property was really initially meant to be a park as part of this Veterans Memorial, but I'm with you in that we do need parking. We're looking at 2040 now, and I'm glad to hear that we're thinking through what are next steps, what are we doing to partner the county buildings and those county trailers we were talking about. And I think that was 2016 when we had that HCI committee meeting. And so we were talking about those trailers then.
That probably needs to be done.
We were talking about those buildings then. So I'm glad that we're still having those conversations, but I feel the same way.
Okay. Since there are not findings of fact, is all you want is a motion to accept the extension with no extension date?
That's correct.
Could somebody word that properly?
Chris?
Sure. Let me get down to the
Just to
actual right.
clarify too, can you, application on here says BZA use variance 2021-003 on the agenda. It says 2023-004. So I just want to make sure we get the right one approved.
It does say 4 there, doesn't it?
And they're both 2 different years, so I want to make sure.
They must have assigned, when it came to the 23 request, be assigned a case number in 23.
That's right.
It's all tied together.
Okay.
2023-004.
Chris, you're the wordsmith.
Yep. So wait. So are we? Is it still BZA use variance 2021-003 still, or is it a new one?
I would utilize the 2023-004. That was the most recent. That's what it established. That case established the time.
2023-004.
Correct.
All right. I would move to remove any time use variance for the city Credent temporary parking lot related to 2023-004.
Second. Is
All
that
in
right?
favor?
Aye.
I
Aye.
was going to make it more complicated.
Sorry.
But here, leave it simple.
Yeah, let's keep it simple.
That was simple enough.
Any other business meetings? We have a meeting next month?
We will have a meeting next month.
Meetings.
2026 calendar. We do have a calendar on there, yes. So we have another agenda item after the case was the 2026.
Oh, the meeting schedule. Okay.
That's simply to establish the filing deadlines and the meeting dates for next year.
Okay, great.
So we can review and get a motion on that. That would be appropriate.
Motion to approve.
I haven't even looked at the calendar, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I actually.
Did I miss
missed the
that?
Calendar, so.
I have
will
too many meetings.
Move to approve the 2026 meeting schedule for the BZA.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. Be nice if we could eliminate Fair Week. Tonight was great because it rained, so, but it is Fair Week, so it rains. Okay, anything else? Motion adjourned.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Thank you for the clarity, Mayor. Appreciate the insight.
Thank you.
I'm glad Kevin explained some stuff to me. I didn't know.
Officially welcome.
Thank you.